We are doing chapter 4 of statistics. Measures of central tendency and dispersion. This chapter has a weightage of how many marks? Combining both central tendency and dispersion has a weightage of 10 to 12 marks. Very big chapter. 10 to 12 marks, easy marks. You can score very easy marks in this chapter. We have done central tendency, mean, median, and mode. In mean there were three types: AM, GM, and HM, and then you have to calculate median and mode. Very simple. For all this, we have done for three types of series. First one was raw data, individual series or ungrouped. Okay? You have X, which has only one value, and then F. Then we did it for group series, 0 to 10, 10 to 20. We have done for three types of series for all three: mean, median, and mode. Then we went to the chapter dispersion. There we saw there are two types of mode, measures of dispersion: absolute and relative. In absolute, there are four parts which you have to do it in our syllabus: range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, and standard deviation. Most questions you will get on standard deviation. Mark standard deviation as important somewhere over there. Standard deviation very important. That is the most useful and most commonly used also. Write down somewhere in bracket. It is the most useful and most commonly used measure of dispersion. Standard deviation. You will be using standard deviation even in your intro level and even in your final level. Standard deviation is very important. And what is the main difference between absolute and relative? We have written three differences. What will be the units? It will be same for absolute, but for relative, unit area. It is a free word. We will show it in percentage terms. There is no unit itself. Now, for comparison, which is the best method? Absolute or relative? Huh? Relative. And then to compute, which is easy?
Absolute.
We done it here. Or it will complete range and QD also.
Range.
We have completed range also. Highest minus
Lowest.
lowest. What is coefficient of range? Highest minus lowest divided by
Highest
plus lowest into 100. It will be in percentage terms. Now we did quartile deviation also. In quartile deviations we saw two formulas in absolute. What was it? Look at your books and tell. One was interquartile range, another semi-interquartile range, which is called as QD. What is your formula for QD? Quartile deviation formula, you know?
Q3 minus Q1
Divided by 2. That is your QD formula. If they are asking only interquartile range, then that is Q3 minus Q1. Now, what is the relative measure of QD? That means coefficient of QD. What is the formula? Q3 minus Q1 by Q3 plus Q1 into 100. This will be in percentage terms. Write down one question of this in your notes. One question on this. Before this, we have also learned something. 2 quartile deviation is equal to Q3 minus Q1. Have you written that also?
Yes, sir.
First question. They have given Q1 is equal to 142. Q1 is 142. And they have given semi-interquartile range is equal to 18. Semi-interquartile range is equal to 18. Q1 is 142. Semi-interquartile range is 18. And they have asked me to find out median. What is median? How will you do it? See, median is also called as Q2. Q2 is also known as Q1 plus Q3 by 2. Now what are they given? Q1, that data they are given, and semi-interquartile range, which is nothing but QD. Quartile deviation is equal to Q3 minus Q1 by 2. Send to other side, 2 QD is equal to Q3 minus Q1. This much they are given it as 18. And there Q3 minus Q1 will become 2 into 18, that is 36, equal to Q3 minus Q1. Q1 value have they given? From that find out Q3 value. Once you get both the value, add these two and divided by 2, you will get Q2, which is nothing but your median. So they are asking what is median. It is nothing but Q3 plus Q1 by 2. Find out Q3, then you will get median. Tell me the answer. Take 1 minute and find out the answer. Minus 142. Somebody who got the answer? Q3 is 1. Q3 ಗೊತ್ತಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾ Q1 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಕ್ವಶ್ಚನ್ ಓದಿದ್ದೀನಿ what is Q1 36 ನಾನೇ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ Q2 is equal to Q3 minus Q1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ Q2 ಏನು ಬರ್ತದೆ Q2 is equal to Q3 plus Q1 by 2 ಇಂದ ಏನು ಕಾಣದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ the last median is Q2. What is the formula for Q2? Q3 ಹೌದಾ plus divided by 2 ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರ್ತೇನೆ Few of them have written Q2 is equal to Q3 plus Q1 by 2, not Q3 minus Q1. Q3 plus Q1 by 2. So from this equation we will get Q3. Sir, इधर ही मत do QD. See, this much we know. QD is equal to Q3 minus Q1 by 2. Now QD they have given us 18. I am sending this to the other side, which is 36. This is equal to Q3 minus Q1. I know the value of Q1, which is how much? 142. If you bring this the other side, you will get Q3 is equal to how much? 178. Now your value of Q3 will be 178. Now it is easy to find out median. They are directly not asking what is Q2. They are asking median. The median is nothing but Q2. Which is Q3 plus Q1 by 2. Q3 plus Q1 by 2. You will get 160. You should have got 160 as the answer. Write it down fast. Q1 ಗೊತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ Q1 ಹಾಕು Q1 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಹಾಕು ಅದನ್ನ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ you will get Q3 no find out Q3 first Q3 ಗೊತ್ತು Q1 ಗೊತ್ತು divided by 2 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಎಂತ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿದೆ you got 160 this part only you will you get it this is the formula what are the given semi interquartile length is 18 semi interquartile length is given so QD is 18 the given 18 is equal to Q3 minus Q1 by 2 this 2 if I set it other side it will become into 4 so 36 is equal to Q3 minus Q1 by 4 now Q1 value also the given 142 so 36 is equal to Q3 minus Q1 plus your value of 142 ಇಲ್ಲಿ also correct that is how now what is the value of Q3 if you put 142 other side you get Q3 is equal to 178 Q3 is equal to 178 now you got Q1 you got Q3 now they are asking median what is the formula for median median is nothing but Q2 right on here median is nothing but Q2 now Q2 Q2 is equal to Q3 plus Q1 divided by Q. See that I have written on the board here. Now you know both the values, you can easily find. Q3 was 178, Q1 was 146. Add both of them divided by 2, you get the answer. That's why bring your calci, no? Phone calci sarigilla. Done. Write down the next question. The given median is equal to 5. The given median is 5 and quartile deviation is 1.5. Quartile deviation is 1.5. They are asking you what is coefficient of QD. They are asking you coefficient of QD. They are given two data, median 5, quartile deviation 1.5. Now they are asking you what is coefficient of QD. What is the formula for coefficient of QD? Coefficient of quartile deviation. How will you do it? They are asking you this value and they are given median and QD. So what is QD? Nothing but formula
Q3 minus Q1 by
minus.
Q1 by 2.
What is QD value they are given?
0.4 to 1.5.
They are given 1.5 and they are given median also. What is median?
5.
Median is nothing but Q2. Q2 is also nothing but Q3
minus Q1
plus Q1 by previous sum only we have done. No. This value also they are given. What is median?
5.
5. They are given this much. You need this part and this part to find out the answer. Just take 1 minute and try to find out the answer on your own. This much are given. So what is Q3 minus Q1 which you need in the numerator? Yes, Bharata. Q3 minus Q1 will be how much? How much? 30 now. Q3 minus Q1 2 1.5 into 2 ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತು 3. So numerator will be 3. What will be Q3 plus Q1? ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ 3 by 10 into 0.6 will be 30%. Right. Can't try ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಾಯ್ತು. Make one formula sheet itself to revise one day before the exam. See, there was formula for AM, GM, HM, that too for all three series, and then median mode again for all three series. Then quartile, percentile, decile. All this you have to make one formula. 12 marks you will get easily. Don't skip this chapter. You have many sums like this in textbook. You have 289 sums, additional questions also. You can do 20 each day. Next, give the heading mean deviation. Mean deviation. See, the chance of getting questions are more from range, QD. Mean deviation very less because to get the answer it is a very lengthy process. We will see this. But the process is very lengthy. They can't ask you for 1 mark MCQ. You can get many properties from mean deviation. Many questions on properties. Give the heading mean deviation. Your third concept, mean deviation. Mean deviation. Mean deviation. There are 3 types. Mean deviation about mean, about median, about mode. There are 3 types. Mean deviation about mean deviation about median, mean deviation about mode. There are 3 types of mean deviation. Mean deviation can be about mean, median or mode. There are 3 types of mean deviation. See again, it's a lengthy process, so chance of getting this in exam little less. Only for individual series they can ask. See, this you write it down as mean deviation for mean with x bar. This you write down as mean deviation for median. You write down mean deviation for mode. This is how you write. Exam only they would have given mean deviation for mean is equal to 5, somewhere like this. Write down somewhere. Give the heading for individual series or raw data. For raw data, how to find out mean deviation about mean, median and mode for raw data. For raw data, how to calculate mean deviation for raw data? That is for individual series. What do you mean by individual series? They would have given 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This is your raw data. If they are given X and frequency, that is your ungroup. If they are given group 0 to 10, 10 to 20, that is your group series. Now this is your raw data. How to calculate mean deviation for median, mean, median and mode. Now we will see. The formula for mean deviation about mean is summation mod x minus x bar by n. Summation mod x minus median by n. Summation x minus mod divided by n. Write this down somewhere for individual series and I will explain what is mod. See, this is not bracket, this is mod. Setting under 2 parallel lines. See what do you mean by this? I will explain. X minus mean, x minus median, x minus mode by n. This is the formula. The formula is very simple for individual series. See, they are given 5 values of x: 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. They are given 5 observations. Now, someone calculate me the mean for this arithmetic mean. How will you do it? Add all of them divided by 5. What is the mean? 10 plus 20 plus 30. 60 plus 14, 100, 100 plus 50, 150 divided by 5. Yes, Kanto? So your mean is equal to 30. Mean is equal to 30. Now what is the formula? X minus x bar. So mod is that. So you need to be careful. X minus x bar. And the x is 10. Minus x bar is 30. So 10 minus 30 is
20.
Yeah. Minus or plus or? Minus 20. 20 minus 30. 0. 40 minus 30. 50 minus 30. So add all this, you get 0. If you remember the first question of central tendency, they had asked what is the sum of all the deviations from the mean. If you remember the first question in central tendency, in practical sum, 31. Deviation estimated. This total will always be 0. But now if you put mod x minus x bar, the difference is will not consider whether it is plus or minus. Only the number you will write down. 20, 10, 0, 10, 20. So add this, you will get 60. get 60. 20, 10, 10, 20. You get 60. This is your summation of x minus x bar. Mod andre you will not consider plus or minus. You will just write down the numbers. So summation is 60. So what will be the mean deviation about mean? 60 divided by 5. N andre estiде 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So answer will be 60 divided by 5. Next one to 80. Well, use calci. Don't use your brain. Well, you can get questions on individual data. Easy, no? If they ask mean deviation about mean, calculate the median here. Calculate the median. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Hinge median calculate ಮಾಡೋದು. You write down alpha in arranging order. Then the middlemost value. It is 30. Again, if your median is also 30, then x minus median mod also will be 60, 65, 5 will be 12. Now mod, ellanu mod. So they won't ask question on mod. That ಕೊಡಬಹುದು for individual data. Or if there was one more data 50, then what will be your mod? 50 only. 50. Then 10 minus 50, 20 minus 50 without signs. Then add it divided by number of observations. Artha aita?
Yes, sir.
Write down for this one. Mean deviation about mean. Write down in your notes somewhere. Mean deviation about mean for individual data. Only for individual series they can ask. They ask for grouped and ungrouped, it will become lengthy. Not very much. How do you calculate mean? Ella add ಮಾಡಿ divided by ಎಷ್ಟು number ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 50 you get 150 divided by 155 so 31 that is your x bar. Copy it right. Same thing there. For individual series, they can ask in exam. This you can calculate quickly. But for grouped and ungrouped, I doubt it. Again, for your median mode also, if you remember, it was very lengthy process to calculate median for group data and group data. Median continued, then x minus x bar, it will become difficult. So, not difficult but lengthy. You know, 11th and 12th they could have asked this for 4 marks, 6 marks. Here for 1 mark they won't ask. Individual series important. Artha aita?
Yes, sir.
Done. Now write down for ungrouped series. How to calculate mean in case of ungrouped series? You would have given some x f. What we used to do? Again, ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ to calculate the mean. We used to do fx, and then whatever answer you will get here divided by total. Is ಬಂದಿತ್ತು ಅದು. summation fx by summation ff. But now what we will do for mean deviation about mean? Same way, we will have to find out x minus x bar. Mod of x minus x bar. How will you calculate this? X they have only given. X bar you will calculate like this, fx by f, which you already know. Now x minus x bar to mod you will put. Now this f into x minus x bar. Now it is the summation barabar. Summation of f into x minus x bar. That divided by this number. That divided by this number. Write down the formula. Mean deviation bar is equal to summation f into x minus x bar divided by summation f. This is your formula. Write down like this only, and then write down this formula. Ange bardre ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. Same way you will do for group also. Instead of 1x, you would have 0 to 10, 10 to 20. You will take the x by dividing these two by 2. Add these two and divide by 2. If it is 0 to 10, then what will be your x? 5. 10 to 20 is 15. That is for group data. This formula is same for group as well as ungroup. The chance of getting this in exam very less, because it will take a lot of time. To calculate x bar only, it will take you so much time. From that you have to calculate x minus x bar. That is into f2. That will be total divided by this. Don't ask this for 1 mark. Simply for knowledge purpose, guys. Even in here. Page number. If you want, you can write down example 14.36 on that. We will not be solving any sums. Done. We will learn absolute measure of dispersion. Absolute measure for mean deviation. Alright. Done. Give the heading as coefficient of mean deviation. Coefficient of period. See, there are 8 topics. Range coefficient of range. QD coefficient of QD. We did mean deviation. Now we are doing coefficient of mean deviation. Coefficient of mean deviation. Mark it as important. This they can ask for 1 mark. Very simple. They will only give all the data. You need to put the formula and get the answer. Coefficient of mean deviation. Okay, write down about mean, about median, and about mode. For mean, the formula is mean deviation about x bar. That is whatever answer you have got previously divided by x bar into 100. This is your answer for mean deviation about mean, the coefficient. This is your mean deviation divided by mean into 100. See, in exam they would have given this value and this value. They will ask you to calculate coefficient of mean deviation about mean. Both the value into 100. Easy, no? This is nothing but your mean. This is mean deviation about mean. Same way for median, mean deviation about median divided by median into 100. Same way for mode also. Mean deviation about mode divided by mode into 100. Write down all three. Done. You got that. They don't like that somewhere, no? Because in exam they will give mean deviation about mean like that, no? They will give x bar, MD, x bar, like that one. Mark this as important. I can give this in exam. They will give both the data and ask you to calculate coefficient. Get up with coefficient of mean deviation. Give the heading standard deviation. Mark it as important. Write down. It is the most useful method and also most commonly used method ಯಾವುದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. Standard deviation, most useful and most commonly used method. Even in stock market they use standard deviation. Calculate the risk. The risk will be denoted by standard deviation. If I take this trade, what will be my risk? What is the maximum loss which I can bear? All this you use standard deviations. You learn all this in your financial management in interval. Regarding standard deviation, there are two formulas for standard deviation. It is denoted like this. I hope you know this. It was there in your 11th and 12th. Do you remember the formula also? Huh? Summation of x minus x square. Write down. Summation of x minus x bar square divided by n. Summation of x minus x bar square divided by n. Or there is one more formula. Summation x bar by n minus summation summation x by n the whole square. We do two sums, one through this method and one through this method. Answer will be same. You can do it in any method, the answer will be same. This is the formula for standard deviation. Now what is coefficient of standard deviation called as variance? Now variance is nothing but square root of standard deviation. Right on. Variance is equal to standard deviation square. Very simple. You will get 1 mark like this also. They would have given standard deviation and asked you to calculate variance. Very simple. Now what is coefficient of variation? Right, coefficient of variation is equal to, see, variation is different and coefficient of variance is different. Coefficient of variance is equal to standard deviation divided by x bar into 100. This is coefficient of variation. Standard deviation divided by x bar into 100. They can give all the data and ask you coefficient of variance, or they can ask you to calculate variance only. With these formulas, we will do some sums. Write down question 1 of standard deviation. They are given an individual series 30, 25, 35, 20, 50. They are given 30, 25, 35, 20 and 50. Here the data they are given 30, 25, 35, 20 and 50. This is what they are given. Now you need to calculate standard deviation. How will you do it? Through this formula or this formula, anything is fine. ಯಾವುದೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ x square ಅಂತ ಬೇಕು. So first we will do x square which is 900, 625. What is 35 into 35? Huh? 1? Add all this and x also. 35, 70, 100, 127. And x square 3375. In this case, we will use this formula, no? It will be simple. Summation x square, 3375 divided by n. ಎಷ್ಟು 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus summation x is 125 divided by n 5 the whole square. Find out the answer. 3325 divided by 5 ಎಷ್ಟು 665 minus 125 by 5 is 25. 25 square is 625. 3375 or 25 or 75 by 5 675 answer. 675 minus 625 is 50. So answer is root 50. Root 50. That is your standard deviation. you could have done through this method also. Find out the mean first, x bar. 125 by 5, 25. So x minus x bar ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Minus x bar. 30 minus 25 is 5. 0. 35 minus 25, 10. Minus 5. Minus 10. Sir, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ remove ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ sign. We are anyway squaring it. No, minus into minus it will become plus. So x minus x bar do square will become 25, 0, 100, 25, 100. Add this, you will get 250. So it will be 250 by 5 into square root. This again your root. Any method you can do, you will get the same answer. Whichever one you find it simple, you can do it as per that method. ಯಾವ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು you will get root 50 only. Easy. You give only individual data. So you have an example. Mark one question as homework. Now 10, 20, 30, 40 and for this data find out standard deviation. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 standard deviation. Mark it as homework. If you try, you should get the answer as root 200. Get the answer as root 200. Square root of 200. Try it in your house. You can do it through any method. The two formulas both are set. ಯಾವ method also. Done. You all get root 50. Did they give timetable for you guys? Not yet. You are doing for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 also. Mark it as homework. Don't address ಸಾಕು. This also you read. Write down the next question. Write down the question. The given summation of x square is equal to 3390. The given summation of x square is equal to 3390. Summation of x square and n is equal to 30. They are telling n is equal to 30. And they are telling standard deviation is 7. The given three data. Summation x square is equal to 3390. N is equal to 30 and standard deviation is equal to 7. They are asking you to calculate x bar. They are asking you to calculate x bar. Sir, ಎರಡು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ x bar ಇಲ್ಲ. x bar is there, but x minus x bar are. But here summation x by n. What do you mean by summation x by n? See this sum. If you add all this and divide it by 5, you will get 25. Which is nothing but your x bar. This is nothing but your mean. How do you calculate mean for this data? Add all this divided by 5. Adhe summation of x divided by 5. This is also called as x bar. It's also called as x bar. X bar square. Write down somewhere. Whole divided by n. This is nothing but your x bar. This data is nothing but your x bar. So now they are asking you x bar. Now they are asking you x bar. What all they are given? Standard deviation they are given. How much? 7 is equal to square root of summation x square by n. What is x square? Summation of x square 3390. That also they are given. Divided by n. That also they are given 30. Minus summation x by n is nothing but your x bar. You can write down as x bar square. Very good. Now to remove this square root, what will you do to the left hand side? ಇಲ್ಲಿ square root ತೆಗಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ what will you do to the LHS? Square. So if you square both the sides, you will get 49 is equal to 3390 by 30 is how much? How much?
113.
113.
Yes, sir.
Minus x bar. X bar square. Until here. Now what will be x bar square?
8.
Will be 113 minus 49. Which will come to how much? Have they asked x bar square or bari x bar?
X bar.
Now how will you do x bar? You will do
Square.
divided by 2 now. Arrows. You have done indices. First chapter. X bar is equal to root 64, which is 8. I don't know this type of sums. Now they are all writing fourth sem exam for third sem. Fifth sem. From tomorrow fifth sem exam. Fourth.
Third.
You guys have written your first sem exam. No, directly second sem. It is first sem now. When did your college start? November. Usually it has to start in June, July. Write down the next question. This is also very simple. You can get many questions like this. They are given standard deviation square. It is nothing but your variance as 100. And they are given coefficient of variation is equal to 20%. 20%. They are asking you what is x bar. They are asking you what is x bar. What is the formula for coefficient of variation? What is the formula for coefficient of variation? Standard deviation by bar into 100. ಅದೆಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ 20%. That is 20. Now they are asking you x bar. Have they given standard deviation? How much is the standard deviation? This square quotidian. Find out s d. X bar 10. You know this data also. 10. Have you read x bar? Can someone tell me what is x bar? What is x bar? Use KLE, don't use your brain. Correct. Answer is 50. X bar is 50. What are you asking? In dispersion, we had 8 topics: range, coefficient of range, QD, coefficient of QD, which we had done in the previous class itself. Now today we did mean deviation about mean, median, and mode. Important only for individual series, and coefficient of mean deviation. Again about mean, median, and mode. Then important topic: standard deviation and variance and coefficient of variance. You have 2 formulas for standard deviation: one for variance, which is very simple, and one for coefficient of variance. Easy. Now we'll write down properties for all these 4 together. Properties for all these 4. Very important. You will get 1 or 2 questions definitely. 1 or 2 from properties of these 4. Theory questions. Very important from theory point of view. These ideas properties. Particulars. Here I have range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, and standard deviation. The first property. What will it be for range, for quartile deviation, for mean deviation, and standard deviation? See, if you remember while doing mean, if all the data is 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, what will be your mean? 5. If all the data is 3, 3, 3,